But then for the argument for and against it, and for Trey Jemison first here, probably the lesser argument between them, but a growing argument at that. Playing last night for them, and probably due to Rui Hachimura being out, the Lakers couldn't really turn to their bigger small ball lineup, meaning their small ball lineup with 3 or 4 big wing players, guys like Rui Hachimura himself, often playing the 5 for them, with a combination of Dorian Finney-Smith, Jared Vanderbilt, and or LeBron. They couldn't do that, so they went with a more traditional style lineup with a true 5 in there, being either Jackson Hayes or Trey Jemison on the court at all times for them, pretty much the entirety of all 48 minutes, and Trey Jemison played pretty well for them, playing 22 minutes, and that's nearly as much as Hayes played for them, and in that time frame being a plus 19, second on their team behind only Jared Vanderbilt, putting up 5 points, grabbing 6 rebounds, 1 block, nearly getting absolutely posterized by Zubats, but that's neither here nor there. All around playing pretty well for them and giving them great energy off the bench. And that's kind of the telltale with Trey Jemison, coming off the bench and maybe not always playing the best or always being the best fit for the matchup, but always bringing great energy and always out there with a fire on the court too. Sometimes that can lead to a flagrant foul or two, but hey, always can rely on the guy for energy, and that's never dealt with him. And then, like I mentioned, in their past 10 games now, playing in 5 of them, and in the 5 games playing about 12 minutes per game, putting up about 5 points per game, shooting about 69% for the field, second on their team behind only Jackson Hayes, grabbing about 2.5 rebounds per game, being about a plus 1.6 on average per game, so not hurting them on the court even if he's not the best fit for every matchup, and simply a good guy to have off the bench for them depending on the matchup. And well, I kind of think that's part of the argument both for and against signing him. If you can't play in every matchup and you're fairly matchup dependent, then you might not be the best option for a standard guaranteed contract. But then on the other side of that, they already have a guy like that on a guaranteed contract, that being Alex Len, and he's shown to be much more matchup dependent than Trey Jemison. And obviously they expect more and rely more on Trey Jemison, even with the short time with Alex Len, shown by Reddit going to Trey Jemison last night in a physical matchup with a team like the LA Clippers and against a guy like Ivica Zubats, and going with Trey Jemison over Alex Len. So again, kind of the argument both for and against him, but definitely more for him rather than against him at this point, and he definitely is in the conversation for a standard contract. Now, is he ahead of Jordan Goodwin? Probably not, but let's talk about it. And for Jordan Goodwin, playing in 8 out of their past 10 games and averaging about 17 minutes per game in them, quite a bit for a 2-way contract. Then to go along with it, 6.1 points per game, 3.8 rebounds per game, and that's very good for a combo guard, not to mention 1.5 offensive rebounds per game, second on their team, or actually first per 36-minute average, then about 1.3 steals per game, being an average +2 per game with their team weight plays, and shooting well from the field, 52.5%, initially was shooting well from 3 but down to about 31%, but still making timely 3-point shots and often coming during the 4th quarter, all around making a big impact for their team on both ends of the court, being an all-out hustle guy for their team and definitely being a part of their bench mob on defense. Between himself, Jared Vanderbilt, Dorian Finney-Smith, and Gabe Vincent, they make a gigantic impact on defense, and we directly seen that in their last game against the LA Clippers. Goodwin coming off the bench and making an immediate impact coming off the bench, playing about 21 minutes, primarily during the first 3 quarters, and getting 3 steals in that time frame, second behind only Gabe Vincent, being a +14 with 5 rebounds, 3 of which being offensive rebounds, making 3 shots, having 6 points, and all around making a great impact for their team coming off the bench, definitely being an every game member of the rotation at this point. Redick has talked about that, and actually did directly talk about that last night. Not only him, but both him and LeBron James, citing both Goodwin and Trey Jemison for how well they're playing, especially being 2-way contracts, and LeBron even referring to them as quote-unquote dogs. Again, not saying it has to be Cam Reddish and or Alex Len, but probably would name them the top 2 candidates, or maybe throw Markieff Morris in there, not really a guy that plays them either, so between the 3 of them, definitely the top 3 candidates to be waived, and yes, they theoretically could replace them with Trey Jemison and or Jordan Goodwin. I'd put Goodwin as the favorite and then Trey Jemison behind them, but they're both making a case to crack the 15-man roster at this point. But with that being said, what do you guys think? How do you feel about Jordan Goodwin, Trey Jemison, and what they've been showing lately? And should that lead to them replacing 1 player or even 2 guys in their team? And who do you think they should replace, if you think they should at all? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. But I think that'll pretty much do it for this one, and if you enjoyed the video, then I'll greatly appreciate it if you dropped a like, subscribe to the channel if you have not already, and hit that notification bell to never miss out when I upload a video. But as always, thank you for watching and have a great day or night.